let's start a thread. What's your electric bill? Mine's $144 for the month of June. For running an AC all month, that's not bad.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and today we're going to be talking about high utility bills. So every month utility bills are becoming harder to afford and people are speaking out. From electricity to water to heating, the costs keep rising with a little explanation. You know this. Families are doing everything right, turning off lights, cutting back on AC, and using energy efficient appliances, yet the bill still spikes. Some have seen their electric bills double in just a year. Utility companies blame inflation, fuel prices, and infrastructure upgrades, but many feel it's just corporate greed. Meanwhile, CEOs rake in bonuses, while regular people are left choosing between groceries or staying warm. Even renters cannot escape as landlords pass rising utility costs down the line. Senior on fixed incomes and low-income households are hit their hardest. It's not just about budgeting anymore, it's about survival. People are tired of excuses and demanding real accountability and transparency. So let's dive into the video and watch, guys.
All right, so I know I've been doing a lot of things recently, or pretty much all of national topics and how some of them impact Indiana. It's hard. I grew up in DC, so I'm used to national topics being local news. So I got my electric bill though. So I'm going to do this one about electric costs in Indiana, specifically Indiana. I got my electric bill the other day. I have not had a bill this high since I moved back to Indiana, or ever in Indiana. I moved back to Indiana I had a job overseas. We moved back home in 2019. And when I bought my new house, I put a new HVAC system in because, those are more efficient, lower your costs. And I put new windows in my house. And we have about, I think, close to 30 some windows. And when you put new windows in, we got the triple pane. It's got the UV protectors, blocks UV light. It holds in the temperature of your house better. Things that should lower your cost, right? So I got my bill, and I'll put it up and show everybody. It was like $228, I believe. I'm not looking at it this moment. Never have I had a bill that high. So I did some digging, and I know we've had the utility companies here in Indiana, and so I live in Hancock County. In the part I live in, we have AES. And I know other parts of Hancock County have Duke, I believe. So just alone, okay? I know AES recently, this is like the second time in the last 4 years, they've asked for a 13.5% rate hike into our utility electric bill. Now remember, inflation right now is 2.7. So this is well above inflation. And I know Duke asked and had passed 11% increase last year, so it was in two steps. This year in 27 February it was 8%, and the next year it's going to be up 3%. Again, both of those are above inflation, 2.7% year over year CPI. And I'll put those up too. I'll screenshot those and put those up, and I'll put my bill up. It's got me thinking. I'll talk about this a little later on in this, but AES and Duke are publicly traded companies. They pay a dividend to their shareholders every year. So when we pay our electric bills, they're taking some of the money we've paid after and paying it to their investors, which is great. If you own their stock, great. And companies do that. It's a normal thing, especially when you're retired and you have passive income. That's a great way to get more money, right? So before I get into that and the amount they're spending, who controls Indiana prices in Indiana? And that would be, I have my notes, utility companies control it, but also the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, so IURC, decides whether to approve the rate increases they ask for. The Office of Utility Consumer Protection represents us on these decisions. But then I was wondering, who appoints these regulators? And if you know, Indiana has had a Republican governor since 2005, I believe. So all IURC commissioners and the OUCC leaders are appointed by the governor of Indiana. So we've had, again, 20 plus years of supermajority Republican rule. Republican Party governors have been appointing these people who are authorizing our rate increases. The Indiana legislature, also controlled by Republican supermajority, sets the laws that shape utility regulation. So you can't blame Democrats for these increases. You have to blame the Republicans because they are the ones who are in control. Like it or not, they are the ones who are in control of supermajority. All right? So again, the bottom line to all this is Republicans, I type my notes out. It's better for me than if I just start freewheeling everything. Republicans currently control all key positions that oversee energy rates in Indiana. This influences the state's approach to rate hikes, infrastructure investments, and regulatory philosophy, typically more pro-business, less aggressive in regulation. So then this gets to the part, I have my notes here too. So as I said, and I'll put these up too. Duke and AES pay a dividend. Duke Energy pays $3.21 billion a year, or $4.26 per share you own. And they usually pay that quarterly, so divide that by 4. So Duke Energy and they're the largest utility in the country. $3.21 billion they give to shareholders. AES Corp pays $490 million a year. And they pay 70 cents a share. I think that's per share every quarter. Again, I'll put this stuff up. So why can't we have them cut some of that dividend to do the investments they're supposed to do? Because you're supposed to take your profits and invest into your company to make more profits. But they're having us pay for these improvements, but they're not taking their profits to do this. So it's because one investor. Look, I'm capitalist. I'm a capitalist. I believe we all are. So I get it. I get some of these things. Like, investors expect expectations of stability. I won't want to give AES or Duke my money because I want my constant dividend. I get that. I understand that. But companies can and have in the past cut dividends for things. So the regulated revenue model, and this is a little complicated, so I'll read what it is. Utilities operate under regulatory oversight, like the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. Their revenue and allowed returns, like return on equity, are set to cover operating costs, investments, and provide reasonable profit. This regulated structure usually ensures steady cash flow, making it easier to maintain dividends. So these allow them to maintain their dividend instead of forcing them to take some of that money and use it for capital investment. So now this is the part where frustrates me the most, I guess, and it should frustrate all of us. So they use this capital investment funding. So when they raise our rates, rate increases help utilities fund infrastructure upgrades and operating expenses. Cutting dividends would not generate cash. They pay dividends from profits, but infrastructure investments require actual capital, usually raised through borrowing to retain earnings. Once a project is done, they don't cut the rates back, though. So they can take the money out of their profits, invest in this, and do the project. They don't, fine. We pay for it, right? We're using it. But once they finish the project, they don't cut the rate back. So they keep that extra rate increase, even though the project is done and finished. I mean, I could see them saying, okay, the project's done. We're going to cut back that rate increase to maybe 2% because that's all we need to do the continuing operating maintenance of this project. No, they keep the full rate. And then people do worry that if you cut your dividend, that sends to the market, we're weak. Again, that's the wrong theory because they're cutting it for a reason. They're not cutting it because they're insolvent or they're trying to preserve cash. You'd be cutting your dividend a little bit to perform your business duties. So since 2020, in Indiana, rates have gone up 16.1%, electric rates. We've averaged, the average inflation rate between 2020 and 2024 was around 3 to 4%. So let's say 4%. So that's 4 times more the average rate of inflation, what we've seen energy rates go up to. Okay. So when you compound that increase on electricity with other rising costs like groceries, housing, insurance, that puts more of a strain on us in the middle class. And I'm not making this one to be, oh, woe's me, my electric bill was a little high. I'm fortunate enough that it doesn't affect my family. But there's families out there who would get an electric bill like this and be like, they would have legitimate worries and concerns. How are we going to pay this and still do other things? I grew up like that, okay? And I've said in the past, I have no shame in it. My family at one point, when I was growing up, we lived in government housing. My parents, we grew up poor. I mean, we put duct tape in. I remember my dad had to duct tape my shoes because I had a hole in my shoes. So I'm sympathetic to people who are in a position where these type of increases impact their lives more than others. And it's a shame that this is how we have to live, where the regulatory commission doesn't fight back harder for us to help us. I get companies have to raise their rates to do some of these products. I get that. I understand that. I understand how markets work. But to not ask these companies to use more of their profits like you're supposed to improve your product and have us pay it, and we're also paying the dividend for these companies to pay out to their shareholders, I think is a little insulting. What else on my notes? So, these rates disproportionately impact lower income households where utilities are a larger share of the monthly expenses, and yet utilities are still paying out billions of dividends, requesting new rate hikes, avoiding cost cutting and corporate level while customers bear the burden. Remember, I said that we bear it. They don't. Their shareholders don't have to bear any of this either because they're going to get their dividend and they're going to get funny enough, when you do dividends, you can set it up so that dividend goes and buys more stock. So you can say, I want you to buy more stock with that dividend instead. So then you're buying more stock, which makes the stock price go up. So when you get new dividend, it gets a little higher because it's based on the price of the stock, the percent. So if the price is 10 and say your dividend is 6, now the price is 20, your dividend is still 6. So you're getting a bigger chunk now. Even though it's 6% of a higher number is going to be more for you. So I just want you, again, elections have consequences, and I see in the state house a lot, they'll blame the Democrats for things, but the Democrats don't have any control in the state house, in the governorship, to make to do the things they say the Democrats are doing. It's been supermajority Republican control for 20 plus years. So they need to own the problems that we have and fix. If they're not going to fix it, get out, let somebody else run, let somebody else get in there and try to fix it. But they're not doing that. They keep running on the same things that Democrats are going to ruin your life. They can't. They're not in charge. They're not in charge of anything. And just look at your electric bill, for instance. The commission is appointed by the governor, who's been a Republican since at least 2005, and the rules and regulations are set by the legislature, which again has been Republican for 20 plus years. So we can be frustrated with the electric companies, but when it comes down to it, it's the people in control of the government who play a big part in this, and it's the Republicans. And we need to start realizing we're going to get the government.
A few short months ago, like 6 months ago, roughly, give or take, when we were all screaming about our utility bills because it was so cold, right? And the utilities just went, and we're all like, what the hell, man? Why's my utility bill so high? It's freezing freaking Arctic tundra, right? So now here we are in the midst of a hot Clarksville summer. What do you put your thermostat on? My wintertime temperature is 68. I'm good with that. My summer temperature, I actually lowered it to 76 this year. No, I don't live in a terrarium. I'm not a lizard. My house is not that big, and I have ceiling fans. And so usually 76 degrees is okay for 1,100 square feet. And you would think at 76 degrees, when most people think that's like lizard tank temperature, my electricity bill would not be as high as it is. I just was checking the bills, getting ready to go to bed, and I'm like, let's check the bills so we can start figuring out, how much money we don't have. And it was like wintertime price. It is straight up wintertime triple-digit numbers on that bill. I'm gonna go ahead and just, let's go ahead and turn that up to 77 because, Not that it's going to make that big a deal, but yeah. So I guess there's no winning, Clarksville. 6 months ago, we were screaming about our utility bills because it was freezing cold and the heat was running all the time. And now we've been under a dome of tropical heat, lots of rain turning into the Amazon, and our utility bills are too high. Am I alone in this? Did you notice a huge jump in your utility bill this month alone? Is it just me?
So who else is wondering why their electric bill is high? Well, I have an answer for you. I know ours went from like 500, it literally doubled. And we were like, maybe it's just July. I hope it's just July. But when we spoke with Ameren, they told us it's not just July. Unfortunately, we can thank our friend Trump for this one. When he raised his tariffs in Canada, it raised our prices on electric. I hope this helps.
What would you do if you got a $2,000 water bill? Well, an elderly woman on the northeast side says she couldn't believe her eyes when she opened up the mail, and she says it is not her fault.
News 4 San Antonio's Karina Hollingsworth joins us now with why she says SAWS is to blame for the leak. Karina?
Guys, her normal monthly bill under $100. To say she was shocked at her $2,000 bill would be an understatement. Tonight we talked to both sides about the issue to try and plug the hole between them.
I almost had a heart attack.
Martha Aviles' reaction after opening a staggering water bill.
I started having chest pains and worried, and I couldn't sleep at night because there's no way I can pay a bill like this, especially if it's not my fault. They said that there was a piece missing from the water meter and that it was broken.
77 years old, living on a fixed income. She says the water leak outside her home was reported to SAWS on multiple occasions, but led to nowhere.
Instead of fixing, they didn't fix nothing. Then they came and put the new meter and made another leak on this side.
Take a look at the mess. It's like a small pond right outside her home. Aviles points to the water meter she never touched.
I'm on a fixed income, and I'm barely making it. And why would I pay for something I did not damage?
Here's the problem. The leak is between the water meter and her home. Saul says it's not their responsibility. They added a new digital water meter. It showed an increase in June and July after the continued leak again on her property, which she never got repaired. The good news tonight, we reached out to SAWS and they repaired the leak, calling it a good faith action for a customer in need. As for the outrageous bill, SAWS tells me they'll work with Aviles to make things right. Live in the studio for News 4 San Antonio, I'm Karina.
South America, utility bills across the United States continue to go higher and higher, and I think that those companies need to be investigated for price gouging. Yes, if you haven't noticed, your utility bill, whether it be gas or electric, continues to go higher and higher every single year. Even though we're considered energy independent, we still have to pay more and more. Record prices every year, always going up, never coming down. Hell, the energy company that facilitates my area, I already know before the end of the year, prices are going up. They've already told us. No reason why. No higher cost for energy for them to get it. Just we're going to bend you over and fuck you financially. Because, I don't know, I guess that's the thing to do. Fuck you, idiot. Give me your money. But utility prices across the United States have been going up. They're up 6% so far this month. And they're expected to continue to go higher regardless of the situation. So because of this horse shit, I think that Donald Trump and his administration need to investigate utility companies. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Donald Trump and your team, you need to investigate utility companies for price gouging and fucking people on purpose. This is ridiculous. We were all told that we were going to get lower energy prices. I'll be fucked if I'm going to pay what I did last year. You shouldn't have to choose between heating your home and eating. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you for your likes, guys, and let's continue.
Donald Trump just had an incredible moment where it appeared cognitive decline was on full display and his staff rushed to get cameras out of the room. Now, Donald Trump today held his first meeting at the Kennedy Center, where he appointed himself chairman of the board, and he had this made-for-TV moment where he wanted to talk about the Kennedy Center's new direction. And that's how it started off, but it instantly just trailed off into nonsense. Then this happened.
As you know, we put down some early tariffs on people and countries that were not treating us well. And that's both.
That sound you hear is the feed being cut. Now, that was not Donald Trump's move. He was happy to have the cameras there. That was a decision his staff made after Donald Trump started rambling and trailing off and no longer talking about the Kennedy Center. Now, this is the second time that cameras were rushed out of the room. And the question is his staff trying to hide any cognitive decline that he may have? We need to know the answer.
Okay. It's May 19th, and I really need you to do one thing. If you haven't recently done this, and even if you have, please do it anyway. If you live in Georgia, I need you to check your voter registration because today is the last day to register to vote and update your voter registration to be able to vote in the June 17th primary for the Public Service Commissioner's race. The Public Service Commissioner is responsible for how utility bills are set, approving utility rate hikes. So if you've been mad about your energy bill going up, this is the race to watch this year. Not to mention you've got municipal races coming up and any special elections that might be happening throughout Georgia. So please, 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 take 5 seconds, get off this app, go to mvp.sos.ga.gov, and make sure you're registered to vote.
Why your ComEd bill doubled this month, maybe like I was? Well, stick around. I learned some stuff. It's not just you. ComEd rates have jumped big time because of capacity charges. That's basically what utilities pay to make sure that there's enough electricity for everyone. And this year, those charges went up by 8 times. Add in rising demands from things like data centers and EVs, plus older power plants shutting down faster than newer ones are being built. And boom, there you have it, supply cost rockets. So no, it's not just random, it's a mix of market prices, clean energy transition, and infrastructure upgrades. Now, if you're looking to lower your bill, which I know a lot of people are asking about that, you can check out the budget billing and the energy rebates on the ComEd site. I have the budget billing because I got behind. It definitely will not make it free. None of these things make it go away, but it helps out and it makes things a little more manageable. So yeah, how do you guys afford to pay your bills? Because I'm fucked.
Now that I'm older, I see why my parents used to get so mad when I used to leave the lights in the house open.
These energy bills are no joke, bro.
These energy bills are no joke. I feel like the last couple months, it's been winter. And for some reason, my electricity bill is almost just as high as it is in the summer when I have the AC running all the time. And don't even get me started on the gas bill for the heat.
Nobody told me utilities get this
Expensive, bro. Why is it that every month I feel like I'm using less electricity, less gas, and every single time, the bill is either just as expensive or even more expensive as it was a month before?
No matter how much I think I'm saving
on lights and heat, that shit's still ridiculous. I see why parents used to be like, shut the damn lights off, shut the damn TV off if you're not watching it. I get it now, Pops. I get it. I understand it now. My bad. My fault. Especially in a house full of kids. If I could pay you back for all the times I left the light open, all the times I left my PlayStation open, I would. I would. My fault, Pops. I feel you. I understand it, bro.
All right, guys. I don't know if everybody knows, but we've been having a lot of problems with our utility bills down here in Holly Springs, Mississippi. We get our power from there. And this has been going on for years. It's been all on the news. And for the last, I would say probably 5 to 10 years, 20 years ago they put the satellite meters on, where you can read automatically and do your bill up. But apparently the fuckers had lost their contract. And apparently it's been lost a few years. And so what they've been doing is estimating our fucking bills. And, well, now, last month, they started reading our bills manually. And actually, I had the son of a bitch that came over here, and I stopped him. And asked him, was he going to read my house? And he said, yeah. But he had to read the neighbors all next door, like 3 or 4 houses. He drove in a circle. He never stopped and read the damn meters. So he just estimating. And the only reason he came over to my house was because I asked him, was he coming? And he came over and he read the meter. And I hated for him to read this motherfucker because I knew if it hadn't been read for years, they were going to go by the fucking numbers from way back when. So anyway, and I really didn't want him to read it, but I let him. And I took a picture of it on that day, April the 2nd. And I'm going to start doing that every second of the month. And I'm gonna bring that motherfucker down there with pictures of it. And I'm gonna get them to give me a fucking price for what it's charging me. And I don't think it's right that these motherfuckers have been doing this all these years. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. It should be against the law. And what we all need to do is band together and let's get us an attorney and sue these motherfuckers. That's the only way you're gonna stop this shit. I don't give a fuck if it closes them down. I don't care. And but I got my bill today finally. Yeah, and it's fucking high as cat's ass. And I'm reading all the other people complaining on Facebook. These fucking people are getting $1,200, $1,500 bills when their light bill should only be $250, $300. I mean, you can't keep doing people like that. It ain't right. And the governor of this fucking Mississippi and the TVA and the PSC, y'all need to get off your fucking lazy asses and do something for us. They are breaking us. They're killing us. I'm on retirement. I only get so much money. I mean, it hurts everybody. You can't get ahead like this and stay up. Fuckers. By God, we're gonna come after your ass. You watch.
How much is y'all's utilities? Because I just moved into this house. I've been here for like 30 days, but I just got my first bill. My light bill is $70 and my water bill is $16. The way I'm just so excited because I'm blessed. Like in other areas I've lived in, my bills were way higher. And baby, when I got that first bill in the mail, I was like, listen, God loves me.
Hey, thanks a ton for watching. I really appreciate all the likes, shares, and everyone who subscribed. It seriously helps the channel grows. If you're new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and stick around. I've got more videos coming your way soon. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.